Berlin and the old man were trapped inside the hotel, with police investigating them stationed downstairs. As long as the police pulled up surveillance footage of suspicious people entering and leaving the hotel during this time, the case would break wide open. That meant Berlin could not leave the room, or he would immediately draw police suspicion. He pulled out his phone and called Keila. He needed her to hack into the hotel system immediately and wipe all surveillance footage. Unfortunately, Keila was on a boat and had absolutely no signal. Berlin told her that if the footage wasn't deleted within 4 minutes, everyone would be finished. Keila panicked instantly. She pulled out her portable equipment and taped her laptop down on the rocking boat. She told Bruce to speed up and drive toward an area with better signal, but they were surrounded by canyons. Even at full speed, there was still no signal. Meanwhile, after questioning the staff, a hotel employee said a group of Spaniards had stayed there for 17 days. 5 of them had left 2 days ago, and 1 of them had just returned. Even stranger during their stay, they absolutely refused to let housekeeping enter the room. He accurately reported the room number Berlin was staying in. The female officer immediately ordered her team to call for backup. She needed more officers to completely surround the building. They then went to the security room and began monitoring the thieves through the cameras. The situation grew dangerous again. Keila was still surrounded by canyons. Bruce had no idea where to go and was completely out of options. The police stared at the monitors, not daring to miss a single detail. Just in time, Bruce finally drove out of the canyon. But a new problem appeared. Keila had to manually locate and delete every clip containing Berlin, which was an enormous task. With time running out, Berlin had no choice but to tell Keila to wipe all surveillance footage. So Keila hacked the entire system. The police watched in despair as all the monitors went black at once. At that moment, the detective told the hotel staff to get the master key and prepare to break in at any second. After confirming the cameras were down, Berlin and the old man made their move. They stepped out of the room just as the elevator arrived on their floor. The detective and officers quickly chambered their weapons, but somehow, the two slipped away before the elevator doors opened. They ducked into a nearby storage room, narrowly avoiding 2 pursuing officers. Berlin kicked open a hidden passage, and the old man followed right behind. The passage led to an underground garage. Seeing the cars, the two immediately came up with a plan. They disguised themselves as hotel staff and casually walked toward a vehicle. After finishing their disguise, they started the car and prepared to escape. At the same time, the police and detective entered the room and found Berlin gone. The female officer believed they were still hiding somewhere inside the hotel and ordered all exits sealed, but it was already too late. The old man had already driven out, and only then did they lock down the parking garage. The old man parked the car in a corner, and the two got out. They unbuttoned their uniforms, removed their hats, and tossed everything into a trash bin. Then they walked out casually. A food delivery driver near the entrance caught their attention. They quickly approached him.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estáis? Somos del programa La Decisión es Oro. Tenéis 10 segundos para tomar una decisión. Os ofrezco 15.000 euros por vuestras 2 motos. ¿Lo tomas o lo dejas? Y el tiempo empieza a contar ahora.
Just like that, they disguised themselves as delivery drivers and began a new escape. They drove from daytime all the way until sunset. At the same time, Cameron and Ken wrapped themselves in canvas, perfectly avoiding helicopter surveillance. When the truck stopped at a service station, they jumped off immediately and ran toward the rendezvous point. Bruce and Keila, riding a 300-horsepower speedboat, escaped hundreds of kilometers. After reaching the shore, they abandoned the boat. They then ran nearly 190 kilometers on back roads, switched to motorcycles, and later boarded another boat to escape. Every change in transportation made it extremely difficult for police to track their movements. As for Berlin, what he didn't expect was that all roads had been sealed off by police. With highways no longer an option, the two set their sights on mountain bikes by the roadside. Disguised as respected athletes, fully geared up, they rode into the mountains. Over 4 days, they crossed mountains and valleys and traversed all of France. At last, they saw the rendezvous point ahead. The old man skillfully lifted a rock and retrieved the key hidden underneath. They pushed open the gate with force and continued riding forward. They became the final members to arrive at the destination. Keila ran toward them in excitement. The group celebrated together in the pouring rain. As for what came next, Berlin planned for everyone to live quietly in a beautiful villa. They would stay hidden until the heat died down and the media stopped reporting on them, until the police could no longer find a single clue. That's it for today's video. Please like and follow. If there's a movie you'd like to see next, leave a comment below and I'll cover it in the next episode.